Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. Now, the former Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya delivered a statement that is directed at the IEBC, the commission that handles elections in Kenya.
The IEBC is totally compromised, and we are happy that this has been confirmed this early, because had this not been confirmed this early, they could have duped Kenyans that they can supervise and pretend over the general elections. For the first time since the electoral history of Kenya, IEBC has confirmed that they will be using uniformed officers and plainclothes officers. Those plainclothes officers is a tool for ballot stuffing. IEBC has given ballot papers to government agencies that have been pre-marked, and the officers in civilian, their work is to figure out how to get the pre-marked ballots into the ballot box.
Now, Kenyans are confronted with a scenario whereby there are going to be multiple by-elections in so many constituencies, wards. Now, one of the constituencies that is going to conduct its by-election is a Magarini constituency. Now, this is where Gachagua has a candidate there, a candidate whom Gachagua believes will outsmart the rival candidate, and this is none other than former Kilifi County Deputy Chief Stanley Kariza, who is flying the DCP party flag in Magarini by-election. So DCP believes that Stanley Kenga has all it takes to unseat ODM's candidate from that region. Now, what you need to understand is that that region has been predominantly an ODM region. Now, because that is the case, Kenga wants to change the tides so that it can be a DCP region. Now, Rigathi Gachagua banks so much on this election because he knows that if he can win this election there, then it will be a booster to his party, that is DCP. So let's look at what Rigathi Gachagua said, because Rigathi has accused the IEBC, and the IEBC has been forced to react to these accusations. So first and foremost, there's an article on the Standard newspaper which I want us to look at. Now, the Standard newspaper is saying at the front cover there, it has displayed the chairman of the IEBC. And up there, the title or the headline is Partisan IEBC. And based on the Standard, it's like the Standard is trying to paint an image whereby the IEBC has taken sides and it's like going to support the government side, and by doing that, IEBC is being partisan. That is what is being, I believe, is being communicated by the Standard. Now let's dive into the statement which Rigathi shared that got the IEBC to respond. Now, Gachagua accused the IEBC chairperson of attempting to interfere with the Magarini constituency by-election. He alleged that Fahima had assumed control of the by-election process through corrupt, covert means. Now, this is the main reason why the IEBC chairperson, Erastus Edung Ethakon, was forced to react, because this is denting the image of IEBC. If the allegations are correct or are true that the IEBC vice chairperson is involved in some corruption activities, because they would like to make sure that the opponent, Stanley's opponent, wins, who is an ODM person, wins that election. So they're using some covert means to deliver the win to ODM. Now, the reaction from Ethakon was like this.
Governed by the rule of law, and there are processes, there is the due process. We need to receive a complaint formally, we need to understand the nature, and of course to what extent and who are complaining, and therefore we need evidence for us to act on it.
So basically,
they of course intelligence. It's part of listening to what is happening out there. It's part of collecting intelligence. But there is a process in law that requires that there must be a petition, there must be a complaint, formal, and of course that must be tabled before the commission for us to trigger the internal processes to address that particular issue through investigation, verifying and ascertaining, so that we can address it again based on the principles of the rule of law and due process and natural justice. We need to look at it within that context.
Okay, it's just a brief statement that was delivered by Erastus Edunge, the chair of IEBC, and he was reacting to the accusations by Rigathi Gachagua. And Rigathi Gachagua, the former deputy president of the Republic of Kenya, is accusing IEBC officials of taking bribes so that they can make sure that the win goes to someone else. So what I'm seeing with all these accusations from Rigathi Gachagua is that Rigathi Gachagua is preparing people to know that if at all he loses in Magarini, it will be because IEBC was bought. That is the kind of narrative that Rigathi Gachagua is pushing for. So he's trying to make sure that if he loses, it's not because he's not popular. It will be because of IEBC's illegal, suspected illegal activities. That is bribe. But if he wins, it's because he's very popular. So Rigathi Gachagua has already created a narrative there which will work his way. Either way, he's going to win the hearts of the people of Magarini. If he loses, if he wins. So what do you think about these accusations from Rigathi Gachagua? Do you think the allegations are correct, or Rigathi Gachagua is just creating a narrative so that he can save face if he loses, or when he loses the Magarini by-election contest? So perhaps if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Until you catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.